March, Tom Parker tragically passed away, just 18 months after being diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumour.
Yeah, but now the late pop star is sharing his inspirational story in a touching memoir, which he wrote in the weeks before his death.
And today we're joined by Tom's bandmate and best friend, Max George, to look back at his incredible legacy, which it was. How are you?
All right.
It's so good to see you, honestly.
Oh, you too.
And I love that you're doing this and promoting this book because...
No, of course.
It's so incredibly personal to you, all his family and friends, and us as fans as well, because we absolutely loved him as well. So he's got this book, it's called Hope. Tell us a little bit about it.
So it's a book that Tom did over the last 12 months of his life, and it goes from the very start, from his upbringing, all the way to the very, very end, and it takes you through the whole journey, how Tom... had some rough beginnings and had his own troubles, and but Tom, I think it's a book. It is a book about hope. It's a book about triumph, and obviously Tom had a lot of difficulties along the way, especially towards the end. You know, the most difficult thing that anyone could go through, and Kelsey, obviously.
Was it lovely for you, though, to see some of his childhood memories and things like that? What was that like for you?
Yeah, absolutely, because in there it kind of explains how nuts he was as a child. And I actually spoke to Noreen, his mum, a few weeks ago about when he was little, and she just said he didn't stop, he never slept, and that never changed. So it was nice to see that Tom was just always Tom. He didn't become that madman that he was always that.
Max, did you speak to him when you heard he was going to write it? Did you talk to him about it? Did he enjoy the process of writing it, given that everything else that was going on in his life? I imagine it was a great diversion for him.
Yeah, it was. I think there were days when where the days were quite long, especially when he was going through the chemo phase, because I know that really knocked him.
Yeah.
But even still, he got through it, and I think it was probably quite therapeutic for him on those days where he could just sit back and talk. And I mean, to be honest, I don't know how he did that, because what he was going through hell, you know. But he still was out there, even talking to people that had glioblastoma, and he was talking to them and how they could put a positive spin on what they had, and they still had life to live, you know. And it was amazing.
Well, it's a hell of a thing to do at such a young age, to sort of essentially, you know, you transcribe your last will and testament. That's going to be that book, really, isn't it?
And, yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, bumped into you in the corridor earlier on, you said it's quite surreal that you had the conversation with him and Kelsey saying, I'll be there to help you with the book. And now you're here doing it, you know? Yeah,
that was it. Like I said a few months ago, like, anything you need to help with the book. And obviously I didn't know at that point, like, that I wouldn't be sat here with Tom, you know? So, yeah, when I got here earlier, I said to you, it was all right saying it at the time, and then when I got here, I was like, oh, man, like, I'm about to sit here talking about Tom's book.
I know, because you haven't spoken about him at all, have you? You haven't spoken about him. And can you just tell me about when you first met him? Because it was at a train station, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Tell me about that meeting.
It was Manchester Piccadilly station, and I'd seen him at the audition process for the band. He was the loud one from Bolton, and he was always at the front. He was always asking questions. And we walked into each other, and I just remember thinking, oh, the Scally from Bolton's in buzzing. And I was so happy. I was so happy that he was in. And immediately, like, me and him just hit it off, you know, and we had a very similar backgrounds, and, yeah, we just became best mates immediately, and within a week we were living in the same house, and yeah, we just did everything together. And
how's life without him now? What is it like? Do you talk to him still?
Yeah, I still think I'm trying to process it. You know, I was telling Dermot before, I still text him, actually. If I get stuff like pictures or stuff that fans have made with him in it, or they send a nice message to do with Tom, I'll WhatsApp it to him still. I think I just find a bit of comfort in that. The worst bit is when I do it, when I'm not doing it, when I do it accidentally. And,
like,
you know,
sometimes
you just go to text and then you're like, oh, no, like, you know?
I used to do that when my mum passed.
Did you?
I was still texting her or phoning her to tell her something, and then I realised, oh, she's not here.
Yeah.
She's not here anymore. It's so weird.
Whatever gets you through, you know? And it's all baby steps, isn't it? You know, it's just those, like, you take each day as it comes. So someone says, I think it's quite a common thing, but it's just the waves that crash over you, and, you know, they still crash over you, but as the time goes, they crash over you less and less.
Yeah. What's interesting is the experiences that you had
Yeah.
together. I can't believe you met Michelle Obama and her daughters.
Yeah.
How amazing was that? You actually went to the White House.
We did, yeah. So Michelle invited us to the White House.
Not just randomly, like,
It
phoned
was
you up.
quite random. Like,
Was it in the back of one? Like, what song was it? The time that was just like.
it was Glad You Came.
Right.
Was doing really well in America, and it happened really fast over there, like literally overnight. So we just got a call. And it was like, the Obamas want you to go to the White House. We thought it was a wind-up, you know what I mean? Like, and we got there.
So they flew you over? Did you go on Air Force One?
Well, it wasn't quite like that, no. But we flew in and we got there, went through all these mad security checks, and the first thing we did is we went into the White House, waited in the library, waited for about 10 minutes, and then Michelle came in and we went to shake hands. She had no shaking hands, hugs only. So we give her a big hug, and then she took us for a tour around the house, showed us all like these different things, like the florists and the underground bowling alley.
There's a florist in the White House?
Yeah, it's massive. It's got like 20 staff. It's massive.
Did you get to the Oval Office?
We didn't. They wouldn't let us in the Oval Office and they wouldn't let us in the bedrooms.
Oh, wow.
But bedrooms, I understand, but the Oval... Obama's probably in there doing the business. I mean, you know...
That's amazing.
What, in the bedroom?
Or the bowling alley?
Maybe
the Oval Office.
One or the other.
It's unbelievable, unbelievable. I've got to ask about Kelsey. How is she doing?
Oh, Kelsey's been awesome. She's always been really strong, you know, like Tom. I mean, them two were literally the two peas in a pod. So, yeah, she's really strong. She's dealing with it. And I think the way that she's raising awareness for glioblastoma and cancer in general, I think is amazing. Yeah, she's been great. And we talk quite often and just check in, make sure she's all right. And she was at a friend's wedding at the weekend. It looked like she had a lot of fun. So that was nice to see.
Yeah. And the NHS have just been incredible, haven't they?
They have, yeah. They've been amazing. Obviously, with Tom at the hospice was NHS, and they were incredible. I'm currently doing something with the NHS, which is concerts for carers, which is where anyone who works for the NHS can apply for tickets to see their favourite artists. We've already done Liam Gallagher, Billie Eilish, and it's amazing. Venues all over the country. So, yeah, it's just about giving back, because I do think that they are the unsung heroes.
Just encouraging everyone to say thank you.
Absolutely.
I think they're incredible. Well, listen, Hope is out. By Tom Parker. It's his own words as well. This is Tom Parker's words. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us, mate.
My pleasure.
Amazing.